This is a video for people who are looking to get real advice that works on how to have a lifelong, till death do us part relationship with the love of their life. How how do you go about that when everything you've tried is not worked? Let's put it that way. Well, my love of my life for more than 20 years until he died of a heart attack at age 41, 42. Um, we met in high school. Didn't really, there was an attraction there, but, other things were going on. And then some years later, when I was 21 years old, I decided to call up his family's house and see if he was back in town again. And he was. So I asked if he wanted to come hang out tonight. And he did. So I called for a booty call and he came over and it was passion right from the start. It was no games. I called him for a booty call. We both knew it. We weren't I wasn't trying to play coy or put on any kind of artifice at all. Okay, that's the first thing I did right. Was just be real. Okay, and the second thing I did right was to really listen to him when he talked over the next couple days and said that he didn't want someone who was going to play games. He didn't want someone who was going to be subservient. He didn't want that kind of relationship where he was in charge. He wanted an equal. He wanted a strong woman. He wanted a woman who was worth standing beside him on her own. And no one had ever spoken to me like that. Okay? And I thought, wow, that is a hell of a challenge. This is an amazing dude. Really once in a lifetime. I mean, when I met him in high school, the first 5 minutes I met him, I was like, this is the guy I want to marry. But I thought, okay, I'm up for the challenge. So we, right from the beginning, talked about what we were looking for in our next relationship. We both wanted love. We both wanted long term. We both wanted someone who we would be completely honest with, never lie to, and they would never lie to us back, and there would be no judgment. There would be no judgment. And that although we would be committed and in love and in it for the long haul, hopefully, forever, that we were only 21 and neither of us felt that it was a good idea to be in a monogamous relationship, that we wanted to have the freedom to explore other people and relationships and sexual adventures, because we were young. We were 21. We didn't want to, wake up someday at 40 and be like, God, I just threw all my good years away. And that we could, because we weren't lying, we weren't playing games, we could trust each other to still be committed and in love and have an unusual relationship. So that's part one about what we did right and what we continued throughout our relationship and then marriage of 11 years. Lived together for 9 and married for 11. The other most important thing we did right is that I had watched, I don't know, some talk show, Oprah Winfrey or something, that had interviewed this like 90-year-old couple who'd been married for more than 70 years and asked them what was their secret. And they said, "We treat each other like strangers. You should treat your family like strangers and strangers like family, always." And they explained what they meant was that they were never curt with each other. They were never um, dismissive or rude or ordering. They were always as polite with one another in their words and their tone, and using please and thank you. They said that was probably the most important. Always say please and always say thank you. Do not just say, do this. It's disrespectful. It's demeaning, little bit by little bit, little sand dropping through the hourglass by sand dropping through the hourglass. When you keep using polite terms with one another and you make a point to always speak reasonably and trying to hear the other person's point of view too, just like you would with a stranger. You wouldn't just go off on a stranger because you were pissed off about that they don't take the garbage out right away or whatever. You would have a reasonable, civilized conversation with them about it. Should take about 2 sentences at the most. And another great piece of information that I'd like to say is that it's bullshit when people say, don't go to sleep mad. Go to sleep mad. Go to sleep mad in separate rooms. Go to sleep mad on separate ends of the mattress. Go to sleep mad, making it clear you're mad. That's fine. Take the night to cool off. Don't keep going at it if you're heated. That is just stupid. It's just stupid. I mean, in the morning you wake up, you're like, what were we even having a fuss about most of the time? I guess those would be the big things of my advice. And there's one more. To always keep in mind and have discussions about right from the beginning that you are not going to be the same person you are today when you are 10 years older, when you are 20 years older, any other age, 5 years older, you're not going to be the same person that you are today. You're going to be considerably different, considerably changed by your experiences, by lessons that you've learned, by people who've touched your life, by the way your partner is changing, because your partner is not always going to be this same person either. Trust me, you're going to have to realize right from the beginning that love it's not a flat line that just stays this wonderful, perfect level all the time, okay? And it's not even one that has little dips and hills, okay? It's one that has Mariana Trench crashes, okay? As you change and they change, and you start to wonder, do I really love this person anymore? What is there about them that is still there that I fell in love with? How how are they showing up to this relationship? How am I showing up to this relationship? Does he want the same things I want? We wanted the same things X years ago when we were still madly in love, but it's it's grown it's grown stale. We've fallen out of love. We have fallen out of love. I never thought this would have happened, but I love him, but I'm not in love with him anymore. And it's obvious he's not in love with me anymore. We need to have this talk that we've been ready for. And the first time you have it is the most important. You just say, you remember how we talked in the beginning about knowing that we were going to change into different people over and over again, and that we were going to fall out of love, and that we had to make a conscious choice, both of us, to fall in love with the person they are now. You have to fall in love brand new all over again, over and over and over. And that is what soulmate love is. Soulmate love is realistic, it's honest, it's trustworthy, and it doesn't hide from the challenges that life brings us. It's inevitable. It's inevitable with every couple. And you have to have that conversation. I'd like to choose to fall in love with you again. I still love you, and I don't want to leave you, but I'm not in love. I want to be in love again. I want that feeling back again, that, let's hold hands down the street and, look at each other across the room, and you know exactly what he's thinking, and you give that look back of, oh yeah, that's gonna happen. And you're hot for each other. You're hot for each other's bodies. That's how you get that back. You have to plan for it. You have to talk about it first before that first falling out of love happens. And don't feel like it's the end of the world, because it's not. It's not. You're not gonna fall back in love together overnight, but you can have conversations about it. This is what's changed about me. I'm not that girl anymore. This is why. And you're not, I can see you're not that boy anymore. You're more this, you're more that. What's happening with your thinking about where we are and where you want to be, and remember that you've found something most people never even know they're missing. Value it. Value it. When my husband died, I knew I was never going to find love like that again. I knew it. I felt, I owed it to myself after a year of grieving to try to go out there and date and possibly marry again. I never found anyone who was close to the soulmate that he was. I miss him. I still remember times he drove me absolutely mad and, you know, disappointed me, don't get me wrong. But I'm I'm over really the grieving part and mostly, and I just think how lucky I was to have that kind of love in my life. And I hope you find that kind of love in your life too. You know, we used to say that we felt sorry for the rest of the world, that they would never know what this feels like to have a soulmate. Good luck. Unless you just choose to be single, and that's awesome too. I choose to be single these days.